Hello, campus community. Thank you for joining us for this pre-recorded session of Spark at SJDC, supporting vulnerable students through advocacy, resource, and knowledge. In this session, we're going to give you an overview of what Spark is. And so let's just go ahead and get started. If you're looking at this first slide, you can see that we're in the Dreamer Success Center and there are a lot of students. You see some different photos and posters, and we're going to get into all of that in just a moment. So let's go.
So on the agenda today, we have what's in store for us today, about Spark, our purpose, and how to get involved.
So meet the Spark Collective. In just a moment, you're going to get to hear from four of us as four different members of the Spark Collective. But it's important to note that we are just four representatives today, that Spark is actually made up of a number of constituencies throughout campus. So we have staff, faculty, we have administrators, we have many different members all across campus, because we know that everyone interfaces with our students and our community in unique ways. And so truly, Spark is a collection of different folks on campus that were brought together in January 2025 when we proposed a charter for Spark. And Spark stands for, again, as we talked about in the very first slide, Student Protection for Advocacy, Resources, and Knowledge. And this project was brought forth because we felt that we are really all about urgent and proactive action to identify and advocate for the needs of vulnerable student populations across campus, ensuring that the district's policies, practices, and resources are aligned with an equity-driven approach. We're very interested in boiling it down to education at San Joaquin Delta College means education for all. And that's really what we're about. So as a personal introduction, my name is Adriana Broger, and I'm a professor of digital media. I'm also one of our co-chairs for the Chicanx Latinx Faculty Task Force. And I am honored to be in this work of Spark because personally, I am a first-generation immigrant to the United States, and I am also a first-generation college student. So the work and the advocacy that we do here is very important to me with my lived experience and living in the community that we live in. I'm going to pass the mic over to Tina.
I'm Tina Leal from the Dreamer Success Center. I'm the Student Services Program Support Coordinator, and my passion has always been to help people. And helping people and coming from a family of immigrants has always just given me a passion to help others. So with this particular job and the passion I have, Spark was a perfect fit for me to advocate for our students and community. So it's a privilege to be working with all of you. And now I'm going to pass it on to Leo.
Hi, I'm Leo Marquez. I'm the multimedia coordinator for the digital media department, and I'm also a member of the Delta College Pride Coalition. And you can just hear already from us, there's a lot of intersectionality. And definitely for me, I'm Mexican American. I identify as Latinx, but I am also a transgender man. So that's really where the passion and drive comes from for being a part of Spark and a lot of the other things that I'm a part of. But definitely, doing this work is greatly important, especially in the political climate that we're in now. So I really just love what we're doing with Spark. And I'm going to pass it over to Kirsten.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Russell, professor of photography and president of Delta College Pride Coalition. I am a queer immigrant educator, deeply committed to social justice. I'm also the LGBTQIA point of contact, so reach out to me if you have any challenges. But my work connected to Spark really comes from my intersectional identity. I think the deep care I have for our immigrant population, and also some of the things that are happening with our trans community right now and LGBTQI population at large. So I'm really happy to be a part of this group.
Thank you. And once again, we want to remind everyone that we're four representatives. There are many more people behind Spark, and we hope that you will join us in this work. You'll hear more about that shortly.
What we have done, we have regular meetings when urgent issues have come up for our students and community. In those meetings, we've kind of focused in on safety, professional development, and student services mental health. To address some of these issues, Spark organized several workshops on campus in collaboration with the Dreamers Center that are going to be discussed much more in depth by Leo. So I'm now going to hand it off to Leo for him to explain all those events.
Thank you, Kirsten. So yes, we have had events this summer. Our first one was called Posters with Purpose, and that one really was to focus on not only just making posters for the event that happened is the protest No King's Day. So it was a really, really big event. However, doing the posters with purpose is really to bring the students together in community, to be able to make posters together, but also to be educated. So each of these events, it's not just an activity where we gather together, but it's also an opportunity to educate our students, our community members that come, to understand what it means to demonstrate a peaceful protest, how to keep yourself safe during and after a protest, and also obviously how to keep the movement going, because we really want to build something that is sustainable and something that we can keep going. So we definitely plan on having more events like this in the future. And the turnout for these really is affirming that this work is needed and is absolutely necessary and important. And now I'm going to pass it over to Tina, who's going to tell you a little bit more about what we plan to do.
Thanks, Leo. What we plan to do is continue to advocate for the students and do this great work that we're all doing together collaboratively. What we want to do is continue know your rights, how to become an ally. And with that being said, you're going to be able to see in your flex, you're going to find how to become an ally, know your rights, international students. So please look at that list that you're all going to get and look for our workshop and please attend. I hope to see you guys there. And with that being said, we're definitely going to keep the movement going that we're providing these service to the students, but not only, like Leo said, an activity, we're also educating the students so that way they feel empowered to protest peacefully and just be empowered by those of us that support them as being allies. Again, how to get involved. You do not need to know everything. You do not have to be a specialist. You just have to have the passion and the will to help our students. You do not need to know AB 620, AB 540, SB 554. You don't have to know any of that. You just have to know that you have a Dreamer Success Center coordinator here that's able and willing to pass them over to the Pride Center, to EPIC, to financial aid, to wherever they need. And the fact that we have free legal services, that's another big plus. I need everybody to know that we have free legal services for students, faculty, and staff on campus. So you could do little things with putting our logo in your guys' syllabus. You guys could put follow us on social media. You could also just reach out with a simple email or stop by the Dreamer Success Center and say, Tina, what's coming up next? I heard this is going on. This is what I'm thinking. We need all the ideas. Again, Adriana mentioned this is just 4, but there's a multitude of people that are on Spark and not even involved in Spark yet that are already giving us great input.
And Leo, I know you were really one of the key people to get us together to develop a podcast this summer. And I know that you have plans for continuing that during fall, right?
Yes, absolutely. So there's actually one episode that if you want to listen to it, if you maybe missed it when we posted about it, you can go to D Media's YouTube channel, which is DCTV On Demand, and you can watch it there or listen to it there, I should say. But definitely planning in the future, hoping to do at least one episode each month.
Thank you, Leo. I know that there are so many different ways for us to be involved, to get involved. This PowerPoint pre-recorded session that we're giving you isn't exhausting all the things because really, as you can see from the images, a lot of students showed up. It was powerful to hear from the students personally, to hear their lived experiences, and that reminds us why we are in this work. And so if you are watching this and you're thinking, I had no idea that Delta College had a group who were taking such a clear stand. If you weren't aware, please know that we do exist and that we are absolutely standing up for the rights of our students. And so, again, there are many different ways to get involved with Spark. And I know that there are many more events to come. So you heard from Tina. Follow us on social media. And I know for more on that, we have Kirsten to tell you all about that.
So let us know if you have any questions or want to get involved. As everyone has said, there are so many places and projects to help out with. Please reach out via email or hit us up on social media, or if you see us in the quad, just stop us. We are a community, and I don't want anyone, or we don't want anyone at Delta to feel isolated in this movement. We are stronger together.
So let's keep the spark alive.
That's right. Thank you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The end.
That was great.